How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and this video is going to be about why I'm bullish on DigiByte. Of course, at the current time of recording this video, we're seeing DigiByte with some 18.15 in the green, which is pretty interesting. Of course, Bitcoin currently valued at $9,459. We had some very interesting news that we covered in a video yesterday about Coinbase considering listing DigiByte among other coins, 16 in fact. And of course, we do have to talk about this topic right here, which is Bitcoin price volatility expected as 10% mining difficulty adjustment looms. And overall, I think that it will be interesting to watch the, whether or not we see some of these different predictions come into fruition. And of course, it will be reflected in the overall cryptocurrency market. And, we do have some also interesting sentiment to talk about. Of course, this is an older article, but it sort of does give us an idea about, the back in the day when we saw the Trump sort of crypto tweets, the first of many that I would definitely predict that we're going to see more attention from these large, figures, these power entities. But I think that honestly, I'm bullish on DigiByte, which relates to that sort of conversation because, of course, cryptocurrency in the past 3 years, in fact, has seen a resurgence of attention from all these different entities because people are realizing exactly what the implications of blockchain technology are. And if somebody can make an argument for Bitcoin, then I think that argument is only amplified when we view it through the lens of DigiByte. And of course, when we talk about DigiByte and the project, and of course, many of the variables that are, you really can't ignore. It is very interesting to think about, when we talk about a lot of these different aspects of the cryptocurrency space, and of course, how, the Bitcoin and of course, larger markets do in fact respond while we watch a lot of these different things really coming into their own, and of course how we've been seeing a lot of the cryptocurrency aspects of the space, but what I really want to talk about really does boil down to the DigiByte blockchain, and something that I think often gets overlooked in particular. Of course we could always talk about these different things, speed and of course all these different things, but we do need to understand DigiByte is owned by the community. This is a pretty beautiful tweet right here, and from their various vehicles emerged and still are emerging to leverage, develop, market, improve, and protect the project and its community. It's an unstoppable movement that has no central authority, and no central authority can control. So this is interesting. And of course, decentralization, I would say, would be one of the greater components of the bullish aspects of DigiByte. And of course, when we talk about DigiByte being a faster digital currency, an innovative blockchain, and all these different things are certainly very interesting arguments that can be made when we talk about Digi assets, Digi ID. Not only that, but I think that the community around DigiByte, just the fact that it's the most decentralized UTXO blockchain in existence, but furthermore, those are all sort of superficial talking points that I think you can get from any DigiByte community member. Those are sort of the bottom line sort of facts that I think anybody could rattle off to you who's passionate about this project. But I would honestly say, and as it does pertain to why I wanted to show that article, about the different attention that DigiByte has been receiving, it is important to pay attention, in a larger sense to how we can expect to see a lot of these different companies adapting and evolving in the world where their competitors are utilizing blockchain. And the fact that DigiByte is already well off on its own, proven, it has years under its belt. Now, all these different things are going to be compiling, and really, spending millions and sometimes even billions of dollars to create create your own blockchain, might not seem as practical for a lot of different businesses. Now, of course, governmental entities are sort of aside because they want to have sort of use blockchain, but I don't think anything will really boil down to how DigiByte can compete on just basically a philosophical context. And I think that true decentralization is going to be one of the most attractive features of DigiByte, and really one of the strongest aspects that we can see for the global network. And of course, when we talk about applications and all these other things, the list goes on and on. I mean, just the conversation about Digi Assets or Digi ID, and true authentication. The future of the internet really is tied up now at the connected at the hip to very much so when we look at the future of people just working from home and all these different aspects of the paradigm shift. And none of those things are really going to fully change, just the same way that the markets will never fully recover. In that same context, I believe that blockchain has proven itself to be here to stay. Now, of course, it is a sprint. It's not a it's not. I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We do need to understand that legislations and all these other things are. I personally would subscribe to the concept that if cryptocurrency was allowed to just sort of do its own thing, which of course is ludicrous, there's absolutely no way it would be allowed to do its own thing because it's so powerful. But I still hold fast to the truth that that basically regulatory bodies and laws and all these other things revolving around crypto are really halting the progress. And of course, I mean, we do have to see and really keep up to date with a lot of these different developing aspects of the cryptocurrency space. But I'm just simply left to their own devices, very confident in the future of DigiByte, and it's it makes sense why DigiByte continues to clock up these impressive gains, and why it is one of the best performing assets, and not only even as a digital asset, being the 34 ranked cryptocurrency, but just assets in general. And I think that the public is very much at a point now where they can't help but recognize cryptocurrency and recognize the validity of these things. And we are also going through a point right now with the overall the boomer generation, as they get older, and as the Gen Z who've just been on technology their entire lives, and many of these other variables, the millennials using their bank accounts and all these other things, we have to recognize that there is a looming shift, not only to connect, usually this is a talking point that's brought up by people who would be advocates of, or at least proponents of just the discussion, in relationship to the topic of like cashlessness. But I would say, it is sort of can be flipped around, and you could sort of reverse engineer that sort of logic and look at it from a different lens, which of course, people who've heard of DigiByte, I mean, I'm sure that there's not only DigiByte, but Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, for lack of a better word, heard of Bitcoin because that's the sort of the poster child for the cryptocurrency revolution. But I don't see Bitcoin as being number one top dog. You don't stay top dog forever. I think DigiByte, does have that, those different aforementioned qualities that, it does sort of get a leg up on Bitcoin in that same context. So yeah, I am bullish on DigiByte. I'm definitely excited to see where we can expect to see a lot of these different technologies develop and sort of evolve in the overall context of how many of these different compounding elements will look in real time. And it is a very interesting time to be paying attention to these things. But yeah, all that being said, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Remember, my name is FaZe Crypto, and I hope you guys have enjoyed listening. Definitely comment down below, and let us know, what part of the world you're in, or if you're a DigiByte member of, if you're a fan of DigiByte or what. Always interested in hearing that. Of course, remember, I'm not your dad. I'm not your financial advisor. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. So make sure that you do your own due diligence, and I think that the research speaks for itself when it comes to DigiByte. But yeah, all that being said, of course, remember to subscribe. Put on post notifications and help support DigiByte creators and the DigiByte community. And you can do that by subscribing and, of course, sharing this video with your friends, family, and watching the whole video. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.